Hello. Okay. Then I've been in. Anyone in New York this past week? Just that flew in and like went to New York. Yeah. What did you guys do? Wasn't there someone that was at Harvey? You? Yes, I was at Harvey on Wednesday, right? Awesome. Did you like the show? Yeah, I really liked it too. It was awesome. Oh, Bronx Zoo. Nice. Nice. I didn't really feel like I did much sightseeing because I was like seeing as many friends as I could possibly see in 4 days. But it was a blast. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Anyone? What do I want to talk about? Lots of things. Well, why don't you guys start it off?
Well, we've got microphones that should be working in the front of the room.
So whenever you have a question,
One, two. Yeah, so coming up to the microphones for questions, please, so we can hear your questions, okay, on both sides of the room. Thanks, guys.
Oh, and we have a... Hi.
Hi, Julie. First of all, welcome to New Jersey. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I don't know if you're familiar with a television show called Inside the Actors Studio, and I got my question idea from that.
Uh-oh, okay.
I've kind of been told, keep it PG-13, but I'm curious. So it's either, what's your favorite cuss word?
Douchebag.
I was going to say, or it would have been, if there's a God, if there's heaven, when you get there, what would you like to hear said deity say?
I told you so?
I like that. It's kind of good. Very cool.
I would be shocked.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Julie. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I don't seem to be on.
Well, you have a nice loud voice.
Well, thank you. The thing that always struck me about Anna was that for all the great stuff that you guys do on the show, that it always seemed as though you were coming back, announcing that some incredible thing had happened while you were away, and you found a new body, you were dragged away to heaven, subjected to horrible tortures.
There's a lot of drama with Anna off stage. Yeah.
My question about the offstage stuff, was there any particular thing that you really thought, man, I wish I could have done that?
Well, yeah, like all of it. if she had her own show, she'd be doing all that stuff, you know, and all the well, you know, it would be a different crowd because there wouldn't be any Jared Jensen in it. Or every once in a while, I try to kill them and fail. But yeah, I mean, right now she must be working a real. There's much drama in store apparently because she's been gone for a long time, so there must be a lot of shit going down. Me too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Julie. What was your favourite part of being in New Zealand?
Well, my husband's from New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of like I married into that country. Like there's so much pride there, and it's such an amazing, special place that, you know, when he steps off the plane, he has this sense of home that kind of carries over to me. So I love it there. Like we daydream of. I tried to even, you know, that show there, the one sci-fi show that's doing well in New Zealand. Oh, the Almighty Johnsons. Okay, that's not. No one really knows it in America, but it's like really big in New Zealand. Okay, one person.
About the Norse gods.
Yeah, no, I like met them at a couple of the cons, and I was seriously almost like asking them, like, please, can I be on your show? Because we want to live here. Not in those words, but yeah, I don't think it worked. But.
Well, we've adopted you as one of our own anyway now.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Julie. Speaking of working on good shows, are you working on any projects currently?
Well, I'm actually going to Hawaii next week, which is really exciting. To do a little Hawaii 5-0. Which is really fun because, you know, you guys like a lot of sci-fi shows, right? So you're fans of Lost. Yeah? Okay. And tons of lost people on that show.
Yes.
What?
And Battlestar Galactica.
And Battlestar Galactica. I have a scene with her. I'm so excited. I love her. Anyway, yeah, that's right now. I just finished a couple movies that I can't talk about, and I did a couple commercials. And there's a Target one that'll be out soon. Should be kind of funny. Big Target. And yeah, so hopefully soon there'll be more.
Well, thank you. I look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Hi. I just wondered if you could make out with any of the guys on screen. Which one would you choose?
Amy Gumenick. Yeah, I already did that. Been there, done that. I've already tasted the gold, ladies. Next. Yeah, I do. Well, yeah, because there's so much that happens on this show that you don't know about until you see it. So yeah, you know, for me, I find, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you do your work and you hope that when they say moving on, that they have what they really like. But you know, it's not like I'm watching it to judge myself, but I like to see it and like see what I can learn from it as well. Oh, thank you. It's all CGI. I wasn't even in Vancouver. Well, I seem to be doing it an awful lot, so I've died 7 times. This is 7 in my world right now. 7 times in the last 4 years.
Wow.
So, I know, like, why can't I not die? But at least it's on shows that they're like, and you're back as a consciousness, and now you're going into quarantine. I'm like, what? I don't know what that means.
Hi. Okay, I have a kind of weird question. For the pending zombie apocalypse, who would be on your survival team? 3 people, either dead or alive.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh God. You gotta tweet me these so I can think about them.
I have a part 2 to it.
Oh, there's
it might
a part
be
2.
It might be easier.
Okay, let's try the part 2.
What's your weapon of choice?
What's my what?
What would be your weapon of choice?
My weapon of choice for the zombie apocalypse.
Dean Winchester.
Dean Winchester. I mean, they would be pretty good weapons. If I had to choose like 2 fictional characters to face the zombie apocalypse with, it would definitely be Sam and Dean. They know how to deal with stuff like that.
Thank you.
Hi, Julie. I think most of the audience probably knows what their favorite scene would be, but as you were working on the set, as an actor, what is your favorite scene that you got to do with the guys?
It's gonna shock you that scene in the car was not actually my favorite scene. Because it involves being half naked in front of 40 to 50 people that you don't know. You know, but anyway, I mean, oh God, especially like when that second episode I did, where she realizes she's an angel. There was like every scene that we did in that, it was like the 4 of us all the time in the whole episode. And that was just such fun. I mean, every scene we did, we had a ball with and laughed a lot. I mean, I always say that I show up on set, I start laughing, we go to lunch, I laugh, we finish, and I'm still laughing. It's such a fun set. So there really wasn't one scene, I guess, that stood out, but to me.
One follow-up, if I could. How did it feel when you were playing the Anna who was trying to kill Sam, going back in time and trying to take everybody out? You got to play a little different character.
Really, really fun. Because, well, see, people always get like caught up in this, so it's not like Anna went. The way I look at it is not that she like went evil and tried to kill someone. She was like, okay, the world is gonna end. The one thing I can do to prevent the world from ending is to go back in time and kill Sam. Or really, I was trying to kill his parents, but you know, that didn't work out.
That was also an excellent episode.
So, and yeah, but so, you know, people get a little bit concerned or angry or whatever. But I was just doing what I had to save the world. One death at a time.
Hi. I don't know if you've kept up with the show, but they're in purgatory. So my question is, do you think Anna is in purgatory, since we don't know where angels went when they died? And if she is, do you think she'll help Castiel and Dean?
I assume that's where she is, unless she's literally a pile of ash in 1977 or whatever, stuck there in that worn-down house. I hope not. I bet she's there, yeah. And I would, you know, if they ever decide to bring her back, I mean, she's always kind of been on Castiel's side, even you know, they're like 2,000-year-old friends. So, yeah, I definitely think she would be helpful, absolutely.
Thank you.
Even though she was turned to a pile of ash.
Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Actually, it's kind of funny because I want to speak more to you about the friendship that you have with Cass as Anna's point of view. So Cass got into a mental hospital. So as a former mental hospital patient, what would Anna say to help Cass cope with his newfound breakdown? You know?
Oh. I mean, I do think, wait, so he's in, I thought he was in purgatory. I have not caught up. So I'm confused.
He was in a mental hospital, and then they took,
then he's in purgatory.
and then they took him out, and then, yeah, but he wasn't there. He's still crazy.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think she would be, I think she would absolutely be a good friend to all of them. I think, you know, water under the bridge, man. Definitely.
Cool, stop. You were really the only likable female angel that I can think of on Supernatural. And I had two questions going with that. Did you do any kind of research going into the role on angelology or anything like that? And you said you hadn't caught up, but what kind of things would you like to see happen with the angels?
I'd like them to bring that one back from the ash. And the first, what was the first part?
Did you do any sort of research into angelology?
You know, I did. Once, well, the first two episodes, I thought that I was going to be done after those. So once I found out I was coming back, I went out and I did all this research on angelology.
Study of angels.
And it was really interesting stuff, but when I ended up getting the scripts for the next couple episodes, it wasn't really like helpful. I found that it was much more important for me to just know my given circumstances and what I'm fighting for, and not bring in all this, you know, this stuff that the writers just know how to bring in, and I didn't need to concern myself with. So it was interesting, but I ended up being like, oh, I did all that research and it didn't really help me. But yeah, it was interesting, so thank you. Hi.
Hello. This is a really weird question, but if you had a superhero that you really liked, who would you be?
When I was 6, I did gymnastics in my Supergirl unitard. really greatly attarded. And I really felt I would wear my like little pom-pom socks with them. Right?
Hi, Julie. I just want to say I'm really excited about you being on Hawaii Five-0 because that happens to be one of my favorite shows. So please tell Alex and Scott Can that I love them dearly and thank you for representing New Jersey. But my question is, if you could write yourself into any other show, which would it be and who would you play?
I would love to be in Breaking Bad. But I'm never right for those meth head roles. There's literally, I make sure I look at every breakdown for that show, and there's never a role for me, so that's not gonna happen. Let's see, what am I into right now? I'm trying to remember. I mean, I'm a huge sci-fi fan, so I love doing anything sci-fi related. It's always like endlessly fun because they just keep killing me and bringing me back. I don't know specifically what. There's a lot of new shows coming out that like Last Resort is going to be really well. I read the pilot and I auditioned for it for a couple different roles on that show, and it was a great pilot, and it has the potential of kind of being like mixing the feeling that I got. I think this is going to be totally off base. You guys will watch it and be like, what was she talking about? It had like this feeling of Lost, not in the magical sense that Lost has, but in this, the fact that they, I can't say anything. I can't say anything. But watch the show, I'm pretty sure it'll be really good. Sorry.
Hi, Julie. Since the Supernatural fandom and the Doctor Who fandom often go hand in hand, I gotta ask, are you a Doctor Who fan?
Yes. So you know, she's actually doing a movie coming up, and they've already announced it, so I can say it. She's doing a movie called Oculus, Karen Gillan. Okay. And I've often been told, oh, you look like Karen Gillan. I'm like, well, we both have red hair. I mean, I don't really think we look that much alike, but we both have red hair. So there was actually, I read to play her, no, this doesn't make sense, but her mother. It does make sense, but you know, just, anyway, I am too young, surprisingly. But I was so excited to be like, to do that audition because I think she's fantastic, and I am a Doctor Who fan, definitely.
If you weren't cast as Anna, who would you want to be?
You know, I tend to say the same, and Amy Gumenick and I are like besties, so I talk about her a lot. I think the young Mary role is awesome. Yeah. I hope she's in more because I feel like there could be so much more to her character. But yeah, I love that role. It's great.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay, you up?
Hi, Julie.
Hi.
I was wondering what your favorite trait of Anna is, like anything, and what your favorite part of her.
I would say that I think, you know, what I do like about her is that when she makes a decision, she sticks with it, and her decisions are very, they're not like quickly thought out decisions. They're very planned out, and even though it meant killing someone she cared about, she knew she had to do it.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Hi, I actually have a question about Fringe.
Okay.
On Twitter, you said that Charlie and Mona were still on honeymoon one night.
Yeah, apparently they are. Whatever happened to Charlie? Because if he doesn't come back, I can't come back.
Yeah, don't you think that's rather lengthy? And does she even love him, or does she just love his arachnids?
Probably both. He's pretty lovable though. So she probably first fell in love with the arachnids and then was like, wow, you're really hot. Let's make babies. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're on honeymoon, extended honeymoon, making babies. Well, you know, it takes a while for some people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, So A, you're kind of vying with Leo DiCaprio and Sean Bean for dying all the time. And then also, when you first see Anna, she's kind of very lost, very, you know, she's very, you know, damaged in a way. And I wanted to know if you drew on anything from either your life or people you knew to try and help you get into that mindset.
You know, for me, I think I've had a fantastic life, and there's definitely things, any one of us, even if we've had the most amazing fortune, you can draw on for anything, but I think me and the word fragile, I don't need to do anything. In fact, for Hawaii 5-0, literally that was the character description. And I walked in, and I did my lines, and I left, and I was like, well, I mean, you look at me, and it's whether it's like my facial features, I'm small and pointy, or I don't know. People just assume, like, what's wrong? Nothing, I'm fine. Like, I just appear fragile, so when it's stuff like that, I don't really have to, doing less is better. But when, you know, she has this huge character arc, and she becomes a really immensely strong person, or angel, for that, I definitely was very aware how I needed to hold my body, and how I needed to stand, and how I needed to speak directly, and not my eye contact. Like everything, you know, had to, I definitely took some notes and practiced in the mirror, because being that strong, forward person is something I have to act.
Thank you.
I worked with Crowley, and I was wondering if Anna had to work with a demon, who do you think she would work with?
Maybe, Rachel. I don't know, I haven't worked with her. That would be fun. Right? Am I totally off base? I mean, she's... Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Did I just say something? No, it doesn't make any sense.
Hi. So you were saying which show you should maybe play on. I was thinking Once Upon a Time, Ariel.
Yeah. In fact, there was like one episode a while back where it was like a side note where the Regina, or in her like evil Regina, where she said something about, oh, I've got to go get this woman out of the water or something, right?
Yes.
It was, and then it never went back to that. And I was like, oh damn it, they've already cast an Ariel. But they just cast 2 new
Sleeping
roles.
Beauty, I think, and Mulan.
Okay, because you know what? Originally it was Anastasia. In the breakdown it was Anastasia, and I was like, oh, you could have Anastasia. But I guess they changed it, or maybe they were being secretive. Yeah, not really, because everyone knows now. But
and also, since you've played an angel, is there any other supernatural character you'd like to play?
Well, besides Mary. I don't know.
No, I mean like another kind of supernatural character.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Well, being an angel is pretty badass. So. I guess the other would be a demon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll return as a demon. All right. Well, anyone else? We got some time. Oh, okay. Yes, please. Go get in line. I don't have to just talk to myself because I get nervous when I have to do that. Okay, or that. Hi.
Hi.
I like your outfit.
Thank you. So this last summer I got really into Mad Men, and your character hasn't shown up in a while, and I was just wondering, you know, what's the funniest thing that happened to you working on that set?
Well, I was actually going to say that Hildy might as well be dead. In fact, I was actually thinking, I was surprised that they hadn't like had a scene where they like side note. Oh yeah, it says Hildy got hit by a truck or something. But funniest scene, I mean, there was one scene where we were all crowded around the telephone listening to, or we were crowded around the radio that was on my desk, and there was a whole bunch of people, and we were listening to the news report. I think that either Marilyn Monroe died or that there was a plane crash. I can't remember which one. And Roger Sterling, John Slattery, his line to me was like, "Aren't you going to answer the phone, sweetheart?" And the way he said it was like so perfectly period that it was kind of hard not to giggle when he said that. But then again, I probably was crying in the scene, so I know. So, anyway, that was fun.
Thank you.
Hi. Hi. I was also going to ask about Mad Men, if you had any anecdotes from working on the show, like anything fun happened behind the scenes, or what it's like working with them as opposed to other shows.
You know, that was actually a really hard, in a way, a hard show for me to work on because my character, I mean, over time she developed and I knew exactly who she was, and she was awesome. Like, she stood up to Pete and didn't take his crap, and I hope, you know, I wish that she had had more of an opportunity to show herself, but it was really hard to just have a couple lines an episode because you want, you know, and you're there not on a contract, so I'm there as like, if I'm good enough, they'll write me in again, kind of thing. So it was like a lot of pressure to like be a 100% full person when in the pilot I had one line. So that was difficult, but I just got really loud. You know, I really only worked about 10 days a season on that show, so it kind of flew by. But it was really an amazing way to start off my work in LA. Like, it was such an honor to be on that show, and every time we left the table reads, it was just like silence because it was so good just to even hear it in the room without seeing it. I just knew how good it was. So that was just quite a great experience.
My first question would have been if you were single, but you answered that. So, no, did they ever actually get to drive the car, the Impala, on the show? Like, did you have any experience? I mean, other than the one scene, obviously, but like, behind the wheel.
I was actually, yeah, we were actually driving. It was like, you know, our foot was driving. No. Well, they have like 6 of them. Okay. So the ones, there's some that are like for the road, and then there's a couple that they have on set. Like the one we used for that scene was chopped up into like 6 pieces or something. So they just kept taking it apart when they wanted to get closer. Oops. We won't tell him. But yeah, and there was a scene actually where I packed up in the back of the car, and he was Jensen was driving, so he wasn't on a pulley or, you know, a car. Yeah, the one we swerved and stuff.
Just a sweet car. Thank you.
It is, yeah. Hi.
Hey, I'm gonna make you leave the world. Well, one of my other favorite franchises is the Stargate franchise, and you were an awesome character on Stargate Universe. But I just recall there was this scene where they would transfer bodies, and I believe there was a couple of episodes where you had to transfer with someone who was I think paraplegic or...
Yeah.
So what kind of preparation did you do because just having to sit like that?
Well, you know, they never shot any of those scenes. Like, I was in her, okay, so when we switched bodies, I went to Earth. We didn't shoot any of Earth.
Okay.
So to be honest, I didn't really prep for the paraplegic.
Coming back and talking about it, and then...
Well, yeah, I came back and she's, you know, she explained what she remembered. So it was like, I couldn't move and I couldn't breathe, and then I couldn't remember anything. So there, yeah, I mean, unfortunately there wasn't like stuff, like Ming Na got to shoot that whole episode where she was there dealing with that, and yeah, I mean that's a challenge. But unfortunately, a lot of my stuff happens off camera.
Well, is there any word of that coming back?
Oh no, it got canceled.
I know.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
You know, it's too bad because I think it was really starting to find its own uniqueness. But it happens. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. I was just wondering who your favorite character ever was to play. You don't have to say Anna, just because you're a super
Well, I mean, Anna was the most fun. Not gonna lie, she was. But I would say like more recently, because I stopped playing Anna 2 or 3 or something years ago. It's been a while. But recently, I did an episode of House where I was only in 2 scenes, but it was just a great role for me because it was the first time I played someone my age and someone who was a mom. And I was kind of like, when the cast was like, are you guys sure? Like, everyone says that I look like 24.
I actually got really excited to see you in House. When the episode aired, I didn't know you were going to be on it.
It was really a great experience because it really challenged me. I mean, I had to show up there, and it wasn't easy scenes. They were both really, really difficult scenes. So it was. I'm like looking back on the last couple of years. That's something I'm probably most proud of. Is that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was wondering, in terms of the behind-the-scenes stuff on Supernatural, some of the producers and directors that you worked with, like Guy Normanby or Jim Michaels, I don't know who was actually involved in your episodes, but any commentary or insights or funny stories about any of the executive types?
You know, who was directing? My husband, I don't know if you guys know, he was in Plucky Penny Whistle's Magical Menagerie. Like, he's a big geek, like the bad guy. When he shot that episode, I went to Vancouver because I was really excited and I wanted to visit set and I wanted to say hi to people. And it was, oh God, who was directing? Mike,
Jim Michaels?
No. Mike who?
Beeson?
No, I did work with him, but that's Charles. Mike, what is his last name? I can't remember, but he had directed me in a couple episodes, and so I, Michael, my husband, went to set, and I kind of snuck in and just was like walking around, and I made eye contact with him, and he literally was like, through his pages. And I went up to him and was like, hey, it's so good to see you. Did you get the new size? Did you get the new pages? That was kind of fun.
Thank you.
Hi. You said you liked Doctor Who, so I was wondering who your favorite Doctor was.
You know, it's a close tie between Matt Smith and David Tennant.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both so great, but I couldn't choose. I'd like to work with both of them.
You should tell them that you should be on.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know who I have to tell. Who more I have to tell that I want to do BBC. Like, I think I should have been British because I love all their shows. I mean, I love a lot of our shows too.
Hi. Actually, I have a whole bunch of questions, so I'm going to ask you to choose one from 1 to 9. Just choose a number. Just choose a 9. Just a number from 1 to 9. That's the question. 7. Okay, if you were in a famous band, what famous musician would you be? 4. You're changing your number already? Okay, I like this one. Alright, if you were in a show about the paranormal, have you had any real-life paranormal experiences?
Oh, she did last week. Okay. See, I'm so glad I chose 4. So I went to college in Salem, Massachusetts. And I was visiting, a lot of my friends still live there, so I was visiting them. My friends Catherine and Caroline bought a house in, and, well, I mean, all the houses there are like incredibly old. So they didn't say anything to me about any sort of hauntings in their house. I had no knowledge of it. And they have a little son, and he woke up in the middle of the night. He was crying, and then I heard them singing to him, and I was like, okay, so I went back to sleep. And I woke up the next morning, I was like, what were you guys singing to him? And they were like, we weren't singing. And I go, that was Margaret. I was like, really? It was Margaret? Who's Margaret? What is she doing in the house? So apparently the woman that grew up in the house and ended up dying in the house, she was like the first owner. Well, she grew up there, and then she ended up getting passed down to her. And so she sometimes will sing in the hallway right outside the room I was staying in. And I even have on my phone like the EMF detector download. No, I'm friends with Amy from Ghost Hunters, and she's like, yeah, that does not work. But I don't know. I was excited to do a little investigating the next night, but nothing was there. So I know. I was like, come on, Margaret. I'll sing harmony.
Thank you. Hello. I like your pants. That's not my question, though. If there was an episode where all of the gender roles were swapped in Supernatural, who would you want to play Anna? It doesn't have to be an actor from Supernatural.
Do you know what'd be really funny? Well, I actually know him. I'm going to meet him tonight, and we've never actually met. But maybe Ron Benedict. Oh.
Thank you.
I was just wondering how you got into acting in the first place. I decided I wanted to be an actor when I was like 8, and it was right after I decided that I didn't want to be a vet because I didn't know you had to go to school for an extra 8 years. But I'd always loved acting, and I actually originally wanted to do musical theater and go to Broadway and do that whole route, but when I was in college, I would go down to New York and audition for different things, and I'd be sitting outside in the waiting room, like hearing all these amazing singers in there, and I was like, I better reevaluate. So I kind of veered off to film and TV, because, yeah, you have to be a triple threat on Broadway. Or you have to be famous, so I was like, well, maybe if I just do film and TV, maybe eventually they'll let me do a show. Because everything's all backwards now, so I don't know. Hopefully. That would be fun. Thank you.
Hello again, how you doing? With the Olympics going on, if you could be pro in any sport, what would you go on pro and why?
Well, you know, it's surprising. I haven't really watched the Olympics in years, like I have this year. I was a swimmer up until, yeah, you're a swimmer?
Yeah.
I swam, like, that was my life until I started acting. And then all of a sudden, like, swimming would go away, and softball went away, and, you know, that started taking over my life. But swimming, if I hadn't gone into acting, I would have gone to college for swimming on a scholarship. Like, I was a good swimmer. Believe it or not, like, now I have no muscle anymore, but I used to be like muscle. Like, I was pure muscle. I looked nothing like I look now. But I've been really enjoying watching the swimming. Like, to the point, I was even watching it in the hotel room before I came down. And I'm like holding, you know how you breathe with them? Yeah. And breaststroke was my favorite. That was like what I was the best at. And back when I was doing it, like what, Summer Sanders, remember her? I don't know. She's like my hero from when I was a kid, but she was from like 1992 Olympics. Breaststroke used to be like under the water, and now they like lift their hands. You know what I'm talking about. They lift their hands out, which I never really did because it wasn't cool then in 1990. I don't know. But so now it's fascinating, and I love watching the swimming. And the gymnastics, of course. I did gymnastics for years, but I was way too tall. I would have hurt myself. But I loved watching. I haven't actually watched the whole like Gabby thing when she won everything. I didn't get to see it because the place I rented an apartment in Brooklyn, and they had, I don't have a TV at home, so I don't know how to work like TVs, I guess. I thought, you know, there's a remote, you press power, okay, great, that should be easy. But apparently TVs now have 4 remotes and instructions, like you open the instructions and I read the whole thing and at the bottom it said, but I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. I sat there for like half an hour trying to turn the TV on. I had it on, and I had it on the right input, and I was like, why can't you just turn it on and have it be on? Anyway, that's another answer. I guess it's my fault for not having TV, so I'm not up to date with that. Anyway, I'm going on and on about this now. Next. Thank you.
Hi, I was wondering, since you said you wanted to play Ariel once upon a time, which, by the way, now I'm totally vying for it.
Oh, thank you.
Ariel. Who's your favorite Disney princess and why?
You know what, Disney princesses have changed too, which is good. Because I'm not really too into the old ones. I mean, even Ariel, I would say she's a little bit different in that she like had a dream and she decided to make legs. And she did it. You know, she did it she did it kind of on her own. I mean, this doesn't really work. None of these women seem to have done anything on their own.
You tell that to Mulan.
And Tiana.
All right. And who?
And Tiana.
Oh, I missed that one. I never saw that one.
And Merida.
Well, Tangled, you know, I really loved that one. I watched it with my 5-year-old friend. And I had no idea what it was going to be like, and I really enjoyed Tangled. I just thought, oh, Brave is not Disney.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Disney Pixar.
Okay. I really like that too, and there were lots of gingers, so my husband and I were like,
Thank you.
thanks. Oh, last one? Oh, we're done. You guys are the best. Thank you so much.